Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Listen, bad habits. Bad habits is why I started doing my YouTube channel in the first place, right? I would have clients come in to see me and they would ask me the most ridiculous questions. Are you gonna contour my nose with a fork? And I'd be like, no, where are you getting this information from? Oh, I saw it on YouTube. Now, I preach about bad habits a lot. I've done this before. I have some new ones today, but also my kind of like journey this year is to create some good habits for myself. That includes taking vitamins, perhaps doing some exercise, doing a proper skincare and looking after my skin in general. You know, I'm 35 now. I need to get on it. Otherwise, this is me stuck in time forever. And one of the key things to that is to using more sunscreen when I should, how often I should. And that brings me to today's sponsor, Haru Wonder, who I absolutely adore. You have seen their skincare throughout my videos, and some of you will be familiar with their Black Rice Sunscreen, which is a must sunscreen for under makeup. It sits perfectly, but I wanted to introduce to you today their Black Bamboo Daily Soothing Sun Shield. Haru Wonder is a brand that really focus on sustainability and kind of influencing us to make small but effective changes in our skincare routine. And this is why this sunscreen is so perfect for my journey. This is gonna be my new habit, applying it throughout the day when I should. It's perfect to carry around with me. It fits in my car. It fits in my coat pocket. It fits in my trouser pocket. It's suggested that you reapply sunscreen every 2 hours. Yes, even over makeup, and there's a way to do it. And that's extremely easy to do with this stick kind of form. There's no stickiness, there's no tackiness, there's no getting it all over your hands. And the Black Bamboo Daily Soothing Sun Shield in particular is a really beautiful, soft, powdery balm. It is super lightweight and it's gonna prevent oiliness even in super humid environments. A lot of you always ask me about makeup prep in humid environments. This is the one. And the great thing about this, it can be used everywhere on the go. So face, arms, hands, neck, legs, other places you want to put sunscreen. Because it also has, Haru Wonder being a great skincare brand, it also has amazing ingredients that look after your skin as you apply the product throughout the day. We're talking things like niacinamide and fermented bamboo extract. And yes, you can absolutely reapply this over your makeup, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. Thank you so much again to Haru Wonder for teaming up with me once more with your amazing skincare that just is incredible with makeup. It really is a perfect pair. I'm gonna leave all the links down below in the description box. We'll be seeing this wonderful SPF again in a few minutes. Let's talk about some bad makeup habits. Number one is kind of like a do as you will, but putting concealer on before foundation. Now, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, right? A lot of people say that their concealer doesn't give them enough coverage. They use it before their foundation, layer their foundation on, and like, oh, it's not great coverage. Here's the deal though. Concealer, in the name, is to conceal. It's not just to brighten under the eyes. It's not to give us like a highlighted area in the face. Its job is to literally conceal things we are trying to hide. That's its main job anyway. You can absolutely use it for other things. Color corrector, yes, can go on before your foundation because color corrector isn't meant to be as heavy as how we see it online, right? It's meant to be a tint, a whisper, if you will, of product. So you can kind of like blend it more into the skin. It isn't meant to sit there on top like layers that we see online, right? It's meant to be fully blended in and then neutralize. We then put our foundation on, see how it sits. You can do concealer under the eye if you want to before foundation, but it's concealer on the face when we're trying to cover things like extra redness on the cheeks, spot concealing. Your foundation should go on first, right? Then we see how much that foundation covers. What kind of coverage does it give us? Where can we apply maybe a little bit more foundation before we add concealer? If our foundation isn't giving us the coverage we need, then we go on to concealer. Concealer is the last step, it is the heaviest step. So we tap that onto areas where we need that little extra help. There are circumstances where you can use concealer before foundation. That's very rarely, and you kind of learn the rules to bend the rules, right? But concealer should absolutely go on after your foundation, on the face. You have super rosy cheeks, foundation not covering enough, tap concealer, you're done, you're fixed, you're sorted. The next kind of bad habit is telling people that they need to let their skin breathe, like an unsolicited advice bad habit. I see this a lot in my comments. It's like, oh, I really do think this person should let their skin breathe. Here's the deal. There's no truth to this in a way. It's kind of what people call a mother's tale. Because your skin is one organ, right? So your skin is gonna breathe all the time. If I had my face fully covered, my back's breathing. My knees are breathing. It is constantly breathing. If it didn't, we would suffocate. We would completely suffocate. Wearing makeup will not make your skin suffocate. Your skin isn't holding its breath as you're wearing makeup. And I know people use the term let your skin breathe as more of a like, give your skin a rest, give this area of your skin a rest. And it could be a good idea to give your skin some makeup-free days, absolutely, while still using sunscreen. If you're a parent, right, and your child wears a lot of makeup, telling them to let their skin breathe isn't the thing we should be focusing on. What we should be focusing on is the removal of a product correctly, letting the products come off. Makeup won't clog your pores if you wash it off properly. There should always be a double cleanse. You should always be melting away that makeup, rinsing it, and then going on with a face wash. A face oil, a cleansing balm doesn't have to be the most expensive. It all just breaks it all down, although there are some differences in some, but you rinse it off anyway. So don't worry about how much makeup people are wearing. The concern is removing it. Letting your skin breathe isn't the issue. Letting your skin be clean is the issue we should be focusing on. So next time someone tells you to let your face breathe because you're wearing too much makeup, tell them actually they're being scientifically inaccurate and it's fine because the rest of your skin, which is one organ, is also breathing for you. And there have been some times where people have said, actually, the days I don't wear makeup, I don't even bother doing my skincare routine. So for a lot of people, wearing their makeup actually forces them to do their skincare routine, so their skin ends up in a better condition. If there's something you are putting in your face and it's damaging your skin, it's because your skin is, then it's not right for your skin. You need to find an alternative. Your foundation shouldn't be giving you spots. It shouldn't be making your skin itch, but you're allergic to an ingredient or that's gone out of date. You know what I mean? Makeup isn't a torture device. Another bad habit I see a lot of people doing is matching their eyebrows to the roots of their hair. Now, this is one of those kind of like, I call them vicious makeup rules that kind of come from way back in the day. Always set with powder, match your brows to your root. Concealer should be 2 shades lighter than your face, you know, those kind of things. And it's like, I don't know where these have came from. Actually, I do. They come from a period of time where our products weren't as advanced as they are now. Let's say you have blonde hair with very dark roots, right? And you're matching your black brow to your black root. It looks very harsh on the skin. You should be matching your brow color to the color of your brows. Straight up, that's it. And if you want to darken a little bit, you can brush over with a tiny bit of like a tinted brow gel or something like that. It is very, very obvious when you are drawing on your skin with the color of the roots of your hair, when your eyebrow hair isn't that color. I see people do this with black. I see people do it with really dark brown. I see people do it with red tones, and it just doesn't look correct. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look nice. It looks very strange. Match to the color of your actual brow hairs. So if you have very fine eyebrows, let's say for example, you're pure blonde and your eyebrow hairs are almost white, almost that see-through, you can't really see them. You're gonna go for your ashy brow pencil still to keep that definition in. Then you can go in with a darker product, and it can be an eyeshadow, it can be something on a very fine brush. You don't have to buy anything new, use what you already have to create brush strokes. You're then adding depth to your brow with the color of your root, so then they don't look completely out of place on your face. If you want to color your brows in a way, say you are wearing a red wig that day, or perhaps you're wearing braids that are of different colors and you want to incorporate into your eyebrows, and then you're gonna have to put a color on top of a darker brow, do the same kind of thing, right? Lay down a little bit of a deeper brow and then add through brush strokes one by one off the bright color that matches your hair, because then you have a deeper shade as a base, as a shadow, but then you're incorporating strokes of your hair color through the brow. Trust me, it's such a good look in general anyway, but it looks so much better and a lot more seamless. I mean, you can absolutely just go on and block the brows in that one color, that's absolutely fine. But if you're struggling with it, then take that advice. Another bad habit I see, and this is a lot of time when people are advertising brands or foundations that have SPF in, and they tell you, don't worry about SPF, this foundation has SPF 50. Doesn't matter. The SPF in your foundation, in your makeup, redundant. Wouldn't make a difference if it didn't exist. It is not enough SPF. It is not an adequate amount of SPF to give you actually good protection, good coverage, all this kind of stuff. This is why you should always reapply your SPF over your makeup. And there's many different ways you can do this. That's why something like this is absolutely amazing, because you can literally roll over your already existing makeup. From like the corner of her nose right to this. You can carry it around with you. It's not gonna make a difference to your makeup in any way. It's made my highlighter pop a bit, but that's fine. And you can literally take it everywhere you need to. You don't have to forget about an area. You can pat it on, you can glide it on the face. You can also take a pad if you wanted to, just cover your pad in the SPF and then tap that onto the skin, tap that onto the forehead, like you're reapplying your powder, and you're still good to go. So do get yourself something like this that you can reapply, especially now we're coming into summer. Not that you need SPF more in summer than any other time, because you need it all the time, but I think we tend to think that if you're wearing makeup, you're pretty much covered, and you are really not. So do reapply, and do ignore the SPF in your foundation. It is not enough. Another bad habit we've been given, and this is definitely through the internet, is using powder to stop creasing. Your skin is going to crease no matter what. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If your skin moves, your skin can crease, right? You have laughter lines, your skin's gonna crease. You smile, your skin's gonna crease. It's just life, it's just our faces. It is so much easier to be out and about, right? Your concealer's creasing, you see the creases, you take a finger, you look up, you cup underneath, and you tap. Gone. The creases are gone. And that is when we haven't applied powder. If I had applied powder and it starts to crease, we're gonna get this congealed, blocky, some bits are gonna be creased, some bits aren't. Under eye. And it isn't as easy as using our body temperature to re-warm up the product. You can't re-warm up powder set into concealer. You can just put more powder on or more concealer on top of it, but then it starts to look patchy, it starts to look cakey, and then you put, it's not right. It doesn't look great. It's so much easier to retouch up concealer without powder, even with a tiny amount of powder. That's why I always use a little puff and just tap a tiny bit in, because that powder eventually is just going to kind of disappear. But if we're baking and using loads, like you see on TikTok, like, look at this, it's not as easy to touch up. So the bad advice there is focusing on preventing rather than how you're going to repair. And I always say, focus on how you're going to repair rather than prevent. It is so much easier for your makeup in general. Okay, well that is all I have for you today. Let me know if there's anything that you think is a bad makeup habit down below in the comments. I'll be really interested to see your opinions. Thank you so much again to Haru Wonder for sponsoring today's video. This is such an incredible SPF. The fact that you can apply this on top of your foundation with no mess, no stickiness, no tackiness, such a game changer. I think this is going to be incredible for a lot of people. Do check out our products down below in the description box. I'll have it all linked there for you. Thanks again, consider subscribing, and I will see you very soon. Bye.